Is the Motorola Moto X the new best phone ever? We've got an amazing new camera for your drone and a pair of VR goggles for people who want to watch movies big. You gotta watch before you buy.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Before You Buy is brought to you by CashFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This episode is brought to you by the Ring Video Doorbell. With the built-in HD camera and microphone, you can monitor your front door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like being home even when you're not. Right now, get $10 off the Ring Video Doorbell when you go to ring.com/beforeyoubuy. Hey, and welcome to Before You Buy. It's Twit's product review show where we take the latest gadgets and gizmos we get here into the Twit Brickhouse, and we give them out to members of the staff, the hosts, the people who are willing to give you the most honest reviews possible. Now, we will be going into things like headphones and VR headsets, but first, we thought we needed to take a look at something that Uncle Leo got in a while back, the new Motorola Moto X. It was supposed to be the hot new phone. He gave us his impressions.
It's time once again. It seems like every year we've got a new Moto X, and it's time for the latest, the 2015 edition of the Motorola X, sold in the United States as the Moto X Pure. I loved the original Moto X, the one that came out in 2013. It was my phone of the year for 2013. I liked it because it was relatively pure Android, as this is. But it had some nice features. It was always listening. You could control the phrase. So instead of saying, "Okay, Google," I say, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi." You can talk to it and ask it things like, "What's up?" And it will actually tell you the time, the weather, and any messages you missed while you were sleeping. I love those features, the gestures, the wibble-wobble to turn on the camera, the chop gesture to turn on the flashlight. All of those, I guess I have to turn off the camera before I turn on the flashlight. All of those made this a very attractive phone without junking it up. The price is also right. This year, the Moto X Pure Edition starts at $400. That's for the 16 gig version. If you get 32 gigs, add 50 bucks. Add another at 100 bucks to get to $499.99 for a 64 gig version. That's what I got here. And you get to use the Moto Maker again, which is so cool. You can choose from a variety of soft grip plastic backs, but they also have wood backs and bamboo and walnut. I got the ebony, which I really like. It's a nice dark back. They have leather as well, 4 different kinds of leather. You even control the colors on the accent metal, and you can have some engraving too, although I probably wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't look great, and it certainly diminishes the value of the phone in the resale market. This is the nice ebony wood, and it's actually real wood, which makes it feel really great. This phone has always felt great in the hand. The original Moto X was, I thought, a perfect 4.7 inches. They've gotten bigger every year since. We're now at 5.7 inches, 1440p. It's a very nice screen, though. They've moved from OLED to LCD, but it still does some of the great Moto X features, like hovering your hand over the phone to get the current time and any notifications that are sitting there waiting for you. A couple of things missing from this phone, though. I'm a little disappointed. I think nowadays any Android device, really any device at all, any phone at all, should have a fingerprint reader. The Moto X Pure Edition does not, nor does it have optical image stabilization in the camera. It does have a couple of interesting things. A front-facing flash for selfies. It works pretty well. Of course, dual-color flash on the back, and a 21-megapixel camera, which I think does a very nice job. One of the things I've realized about having a high-resolution camera, it's not so much that you care about 21-megapixel images, but that you can use digital zoom on an image, and it doesn't degrade it quite as much with 21 megapixels. This is about halfway zoomed in. This is zoomed in all the way. And if I zoom in even further using the magnifying glass here on Google Photos, you'll see that, in fact, this image is pretty clean. There's not a lot of artifacting in the sky. The letters are crisp. That is more than 1-to-1. That's what 21 megapixels gets you. What it doesn't get you is very good low light performance. This is not a great low light camera, but in daylight, I think it's an excellent imaging platform. So some very good things about the Moto X, especially the price at $400 or probably $450 for the one you want, the 32 gig. This is about half as much as I paid for a Galaxy Note 5. And in many respects, it looks as good. It feels even better. It's a camera. I keep calling them cameras. It's a smartphone you won't be embarrassed to carry around. I really love this, and I wish more phones would do it. Front-facing left and right speakers, really nice, loud sound with a 1440p screen. It's a great phone for watching video. You know, in many respects, it's the kind of phone that you just kind of really love. Unfortunately, the most important thing for me is battery life, and once again, Moto X falls down on this. Motorola X Pure battery life. In my usage, and that's really the only way you can measure it, is comparing phones as you use them, is just mediocre. I get about through the day, could charge it up at dinner time and then go out in the evening. It does charge faster than any phone I've ever used with the turbocharger that's supplied, or it seems like any fast charging device. I can charge the entire phone from 0 to full in about an hour. So that means you sit down to dinner and you're back to 100%, and you'll be able to get through the evening just fine. But I'm disappointed. I was really hoping that Motorola would give us better battery life with a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in here. It should be a little bit better than this. You can see I unplugged it about 8 a.m. It says maybe I'll get to 7 p.m., but a lot of that's time that I wasn't using the phone. It was about with 12% on-screen time. So pros and cons. Well, the pro always with the Moto X has to be the Moto Maker. It's great to be able to make your phone unique. I love the wood backs, the leather backs. They really feel good in the hand. They make it feel like a premium phone, even when it really isn't. And that's the second super pro is the price. Starting at $400, these are very affordable phones. And for a lot of people, are as much phone as you will ever need. It's fast. It's snappy. It does allow you to put in an SD card. So with, you know, if you get 32 gigs, that's enough for the operating system. I put a 128 gig SD card in here for music, for movies, for books, for photos. That means I'm probably never going to run out of room on a 32 gig phone. So that makes it very attractive. I like the SD card. That's something some of the other premium phones don't do. But no removable battery and weak battery life have to be a con. Also, the lack of a fingerprint sensor and optical image stabilization in the camera, fairly mediocre low light performance. Those are cons that may be a deal breaker, maybe not. I am a big fan of the pure Android experience that you get on the Motorola X family. This Moto X Pure is no different. It's Lollipop 511. I'm sure we'll get the Marshmallow update almost as soon as it's available. And by the way, that might be good news for battery life. Marshmallow is rumored to be doing pretty well with improving battery life. If you want a pure Android experience, one of the best Android experiences with a few tasteful and very useful features, the Moto X is a great choice, but it's in a very competitive field. And it's hard to say anymore that this is the best Android phone on the market. For that, maybe you should look at the Galaxy Note 5 or the S6 Plus. There's some really nice phones out there right now. But if you're on a budget, you want a great phone that feels great and looks great, the Moto X is a good buy. I'll have to give it a buy, absolutely, as long as you understand what you're giving up. That's it on the Moto X Pure Edition. Back to you, Robert.
Thanks, Leo. So if you're looking for a phone that's pure Android, the Moto X Pure Edition may be for you. He was a little disappointed with the camera, and actually we've talked about this. The camera on the Samsung phones right now, the Note and the 6S, beautiful cameras. I think those are the cream of the crop right now. They are the top of the class. Everyone else is kind of pretending, but if you don't need the best camera ever, it's a great phone to have, and at $399, it may be in the price range for you. Now we have in studio someone who we love having here. It's Miriam Jawar. Now Miriam, we normally have you with a phone. You're giving us something a little bit different today, which I like. This is good.
I can't do all the phones.
Can't do all the phones, and we need to switch it up a little bit. So this is the Master and Dynamic MH40. These are some monster headphones. And so you've got it in the box. What's it doing in the box?
Yeah, so I brought the box because I think you'll see the way it's presented is really quite beautiful. These are not, you said Monster headphones. I just want to clarify, these are not made by Monster.
Right, no. I mean, Monster, like, big. I love them.
Master Dynamic is the brand, and it's really interesting. It's kind of a new brand that came out of nowhere. And those of you familiar with headphones know Bayer Dynamic is a long-time German brand. In fact, my favorite headphones are my Bayer Dynamic DT990 Pro, which I compared these two directly. So, you know, I'm pretty picky about audio quality.
Yes.
And I have to say that there are two things I love about these is the craftsmanship, and this is what is really uniquely beautiful about them. And then the sound quality is actually not an afterthought, which, you know, a lot of these kind of fancy, kind of retro looking headphones today, or even, you know, the colorful Beats type headphones, I personally don't like the sound of them.
They're drivers shoved into a nice housing.
They're really too bassy, you know, this is extremely transparent. So let's open
Crack
it up.
it open.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you kind of have to do this to get it out started, but you'll see like a beautiful, beautiful presentation here. And as you can see, they come in different colors too. So this is kind of a gunmetal gray metal with black leather, and there's like a beautiful, if you go to the website, Ryan, there's a beautiful set of colors there. This one is my favorite scheme. I would love that one, the silver and brown. But anyway, let me take them out if you want to switch back to the view here. And here, as you can see, are the headphones. Everything is either made of metal or leather. There's not a single piece of plastic visible here, except for maybe the rubber around the cable. And then if you take this little box out here, there's two cables in here which are made out of fabric, which is really nice.
Tangle-proof.
Yeah, one is super long, 4-prong to 4-prong with no controls on it. So if you have like a regular stereo, that's the one you want to use. And then there is a shorter version that's also 4-prong to 4-prong with a headphone and a microphone on it. And that's much shorter, so you can't really use that as your desk. And of course, you have the standard adapter for a big stereo jack. And this is really beautifully made. Even the connectors here, the casing on these is made of metal. So they've really gone all out. And so the other thing that's interesting, and let me show you a little up close, you can plug into either side.
Oh, nice.
Right?
I like that.
So they're labeled left and right, like you have to respect that. So this is left. So this is how they would go on, right?
But if you've got one of those PCs that's on the wrong side. But if you have a piece on
one side, you can connect. And here's the best part. You can have somebody else plug into the other jack and listen simultaneously. And because it's a 4-prong, they can remote control if they have a control on it.
I don't think I want that.
So it's a very interesting approach. And as you can see, everything is super premium. Holding them, you'll see how beefy and nice these feel.
These actually feel much more solid than they looked.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, originally when these were announced and I saw the pictures, I thought it's all about the looks and the materials.
It's comfortable.
Kudos to them. But I was like, what's it going to sound like? And I have to report that they're not quite as good in terms of sound quality as my Bayer Dynamic 990 Pros, but they're damn close. They're super neutral. You can listen to all kinds of genres of music on this without any emphasis on any particular frequency band. They're very efficient. They can be driven by a phone easily. In fact, on my Mac, most of the time, I had to have it on the the first little setting of volume to be comfortable. And in fact, I had to lower the iTunes volume so I could have a bit more range to play with. So they're pretty efficient. They use a 45mm driver. Which is, kind of on the bigger side these days, which is great. And then the other thing that's cool, if you want to bring back a close-up view, Brian, is there's a mute button here.
Oh, okay.
And it's a toggle,
and it's
purely physical. There's no electronics in here. It's just a cable that cuts out the sound so that since these are closed headphones, they do attenuate some of the outside noise. So say you're on the subway or something, there's a sudden announcement, and you don't have time to reach in your pocket or even reach the remote.
Just
reach to the back of the headphone, click on that thing, and you can potentially hear the end of the announcement.
Now, I noticed that the cups, they're a little smaller than what I expect on high-quality headphones. Are these comfortable over the ear?
Let me put them on so you can see that they cover the ears quite adequately.
Now, but if you had really big, I have big ears, and one of the problems I have is when I put them on, they tend to Yes, it's on my earlobe right now, so after a while that I might start feeling that. But no, they feel really comfortable.
So perhaps not if you have big ears, but I'll be honest with you that they're also, in the same way as my Bears are slightly better in terms of sound quality, my Bears are also slightly more comfortable, slightly.
Okay.
I think that, you know, these probably need a bit more use. I've used them about 2 weeks now, pretty much nonstop. You know, maybe like bending the band out a bit to loosen it up so that it doesn't put as much pressure on your ears might be something you want to do. But ultimately, I personally don't know if I would myself buy these because I already have something I really like. But if you're looking for really stylish...
Before we get there, wait, we got to tease the audience. That's how we do this here. So break down my pros and cons. If they only had 30 seconds to listen to you, what are the reasons why they would buy it? What are the things that you don't like?
Super stylish, absolutely gorgeously made, incredible top-notch build quality and materials. Okay. That's a pro. The other pro is sound quality. They're really good. They're really neutral. If you're looking for bass-heavy headphones, these are not yours.
Right.
You know, efficient. They can be driven by almost anything. Even the simplest phone will drive without any problems, which is great. The cons is the price, and I don't know if we have the price anywhere here. $399 is a little steep. I mean, I'll tell you what, you can spend a lot more than that, but I'll give you an example. Again, my reference, the Beard Dynamic DT990 Pro, they list for about $300, but you can buy them all day, all over the web, brand new for $150, $175. And at that price, they're unbeatable, right? So you're paying for those materials and the design and the beauty of it, right? So to me, that's a bit of a con because I think that, you know, because they're not ultimately as good as my Bears and as comfortable as my Bears, I'm like, do I really want to spend that just for the looks and the materials? I don't know. So if you're really into style and design, this is probably something you're going to be willing to pay for. So I'd say the price is negative. And again, there's a bit of room for you know, improvement on comfort, as you notice with bigger ears,
right?
And also the fact that you know, for me, I'm not a big fan of closed because they kind of enclose your ears.
And yet, it's giving you a stylish pair of headphones that's not compromising audio, which I like. That's good. I mean, that's a big step up from, I'm not going to name it, but another brand that's completely plastic, that's way overpriced, and doesn't actually sound good if you want anything other than bass heavy music.
And you know, of course, this nice little leather case too. I mean, not
it's the little touches.
You need, but it's exactly the whole package. So ultimately, I think for myself, because I already have what I need, I wouldn't buy them, but I would recommend them absolutely. I would say it's a buy if you're looking for something to, you know, take you up a whole new dimension in terms of sound quality, in terms of looks and feel and materials and build quality. I can see these things lasting 20 years, no problem. Like, they're built like tanks. You know, if you drop these or whatever, I don't think anything is going to break. Fantastic. So
that's it.
Definitely a buy.
We've got a buy from Miriam Jouar for the Master and Dynamic MH40 headphones. Stylish, good sounding, a little bit pricey, but again, you're always going to pay more for a high-quality product. Miriam, we want to thank you. Of course, we love it every time you come on Before You Buy. You are often found on All About Android, but of course, we want them to go to your work wherever you can be found.
Sure.
Where do they go?
So my, you know, I'll be found online on my blog and my Twitter, Tankgirl, TNKGRL. I have tankgirl.com as well. So think the comic book character, drop the vowels, you'll find me online. You know, Twitter is probably where you're going to be finding most of my kind of like day-to-day activity. The blog is really more about the occasional product I don't review on Before You Buy, and my podcast. I have my own podcast. So if you don't get enough of me already on all the shows here at Twit, go find me on the podcast on tankgirl.com.
Miriam Jouar, Tank Girl on Twitter. Remove all the vowels, and it's always a pleasure to speak with you. It's always just such a pleasure to have you share your knowledge about any product you bring on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, coming up in a bit, we've got a special treat. Carly Perkins, who has been here at Twit for quite a while, she's going to be doing a live review. She's really, really nervous about it, but we think she's going to do great. Before we do that, though, I want to take you to Las Vegas. Last week, I was at InterDrone 2015, the first time the conference had ever been shown, and DJI was there to show off a new product that they have for their award-winning Inspire. If you're looking for the next-gen camera on a next-gen drone, you got to watch this. If you've been interested in filming, then you know what this is. This is the DJI Inspire, the quadcopter that really changed the rules about what you can do with aerial photography. Now, this is a great craft. It allows you to take unobstructed views of everything you want to, but DJI decided that they needed just a little bit more, which is why I'm standing next to Romeo Derscher. He's the Director of Education at DJI, also quite an avid aerial videographer, who's going to explain how DJI just ratcheted up their game. Romeo, you seem to be clutching that case a little tightly. What's inside?
Well, now it really is time to open up the case and look at the next generation of cameras that will go onto the Inspire 1. And we are very proud to introduce the X5, Zenmuse X5 camera. The challenge has been that while this is already a wonderful platform that really provides some amazing aerial views and perspectives, it wasn't quite good enough. We wanted to push further and do more. And so we joined the Micro Four Thirds generation, and today we finally were able to announce that we now have a camera, in fact, 2 cameras that can go onto the Inspire, and that will truly take photography and videography to a completely different level yet again.
One of the things that I love about this approach is we all know that the Inspire is a great platform for videography. It's super stable. The fact that you can retract the drive pods out of the way means that you can get that 360-degree view with the camera on a gimbal. But for a lot of people who are just watching this show right now, they're saying, what did they have to do? Why did they have to do that? I mean, the camera on the Inspire was pretty good as it was. What more can I do with a Micro Four Thirds?
Well, that's a great question. And, you know, there will be people that say, okay, I'm going to be fine with that camera, and they can continuously fly with that. But then there's going to be the more professional photographer, the more professional videographer. And for them, Micro Four Thirds means better pixels, more images that really have the range of colors. And it's going to be exciting.
Romeo, I know that you do a lot of these videos, some absolutely breathtaking videos. What are you looking forward to? What abilities will this new camera give you when you fly?
That's a great question. I have already been flying with it, testing it, and it really changed my way of going about it, because up until now, we had limited ability to control the camera. So now I can do focus. While in the air, I can focus on an object close by, or I can do infinity focus. That is already a big change. I also have the ability of going up to 25,000 ISO, and I have such a high range that is all available through my app. So it really is your DSLR camera and the functions you're used to on the ground, just now up in the sky.
I think what we have to do now that we've inspired plenty of techno-lust from our audience is tell them about pricing and availability. If they want to play with the Zenmuse Micro Four Thirds, when will they be able to get it, and how much will it cost?
The availability of so we have 2 cameras that will come out. The Zenmuse X5, that will be available at the end of September. And then we also have the same camera, but in a RAW version. So it will be shooting video RAW in essence, giving the professional videographer even more power to do post-production. That will be available in Q4.
Romeo, thank you so very much for talking to us. And again, thank you for doing what you do. I wish you had more time to shoot video, but of course, you've got to spread the word about DJI. I'm Father Robert Ballecer, and the Inspire just got more inspiring. There's so much excitement over the Micro Four Thirds revolution that it's nice to see that get up in a drone. Now, Brian, we both fly drones, and yes. I have to say, when I was talking to some of the DJI people, the integration that they do between the camera gimbal and the flight controller for the drone, it actually allows them to do things that you can't do just by building your own. I mean, you've got such a tightly integrated system that it makes sure you get those smooth panning shots when you actually want the panning shots.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty smart, but it's still, I still want to try.
I want to try it. I want to try it. It's definitely not an acrobatic quadcopter. It's not designed to be an acrobatic quadcopter. And the pricing is pretty severe. So it's $2,200 for just the X5 alone. But that will give you the Micro Four Thirds mount that you can attach to your existing DJI Inspire. If you don't have an Inspire, you can get the X5 with its own Inspire. That's going to cost you $4,500. Now, we don't yet have pricing on the X5R, but consider what the X5R does. So it's the same sensor, it's the same camera. The difference is that they let you record RAW. There's actually an SSD, a 512 gigabyte SSD built into the base plate of the camera. which lets you have uncompressed 4K video. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous, but from what I understand, it's going to put the price up into about the $10,000 range.
Well, I'm more than willing to try it out.
Yeah, if they'll send us one.
Yeah, send us one, please.
We'll do them that favor. We'll do them a solid. When we come back, as promised, we've got Carly Perkins for her first live review. I'm really not trying to freak her out. I'm just going to mention to her that Leo is currently watching the stream, so she better be good. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a break to thank the sponsor of this episode of Before You Buy, and it's the Ring Video Doorbell. Now, you've probably heard about the Ring Video Doorbell if you've watched Twit, because there are so many of us who swear by this thing. It's not just a product that I advertise on the network. It's something that I actually bought for my parents before they were an advertiser because, well, I was worried about them. My parents live in a place that there's a lot of elderly people, and there have been reports of people casing houses thinking that they're going to try to catch that house when the residents aren't home. So I got them this. Now, this is what's in the kit. When you order a Ring Video Doorbell, you get all the tools you need to install, including this level, including the cables and the mounting screws, and the Ring Video Doorbell. Now, this little plate here allows you to hook it up to house power. So if you have a physical doorbell outside of your house, you just connect those wires to these little screws here, and it will power your Ring Video Doorbell off of house power. But here's the part that I really like. On the back here, you see a micro USB port. If you charge the internal lithium-ion battery, it will run the Ring Video Doorbell for a year. Now, this Ring Video Doorbell will connect to your Wi-Fi network, and what it will do with that connection is allow you to receive calls from your house like you would receive caller ID on your phone. You have an application on your phone or on your tablet that lets you see who is ringing the doorbell and then start up a real-time conversation. Right now, I have this phone connected to the Ring Video Doorbell at my family home in Las Vegas. Now, here's the cool thing. If I click this. This was motion detection. This was not a call that was logged. This was just someone who got within range of the camera sensor, and the Ring Video Doorbell recorded the video and then uploaded it to the cloud service. So now I have someone who I don't know connecting an extension cable to our front door and running it across the street. That's very strange, and that's probably something that I'm going to want to take a look at later on, but that's exactly what Ring lets you do. It lets you find out, wait, why is our power bill so high this month? Oh, it was because the next door neighbor decided it's easier to run his air conditioner off of our power. Folks, this is what you get with the Ring Video Doorbell. You get not just a way to turn your house into a caller ID system, you get a way to make sure you've got a peace of mind and the ability to find out what's going on even when you're not home. Now, why not put your mind at ease with the product that Time Magazine named as one of the top 10 gadgets of 2014? Get yourself a Ring Video Doorbell. And Ring wants to make it easy for you to do it because you are a Twit listener. Right now, you can go and get $10 off the normal price. Protect your home and have peace of mind with Ring. Go to ring.com/beforeyoubuy. That's ring.com/beforeyoubuy and get yourself $10 off the regular price. And we thank Ring for their support of Before You Buy. Folks, now, I don't want to hype this up any because she's already nervous enough as it is, but
I'm not even nervous.
I have been told that this will be the best review we've ever done on this show.
No pressure.
Ever. No pressure.
No pressure.
Not completely no pressure.
Please no.
This is Carly Perkins. You've seen her in recorded reviews before, but she's here to show us live and in person the Touch Mini
BoomBox speaker.
BoomBox?
Yeah, so here it is.
All right, well, what is this thing?
So pretty much, it's really simple. You just put your phone, pretty much any smartphone can fit into it, and you just put it right into the BoomBox, and it amplifies the
So it's like a
music that
little
you're playing.
phone stand? Oh.
Exactly.
Okay, not that phone. Not that
maybe,
phone.
You can put it up upright, though, and just kind of, we can try, let's see. Oop.
It's Bluetooth connected, obviously.
It's not, no, you don't have to pair it or anything. You just set it right into the speaker. So you don't, there's no pairing necessary.
It. Okay.
Yeah, so really, so if you take it out to see.
So it just has, wait, how is it doing
So all
that?
you do is you just set it in, and it has a 3-watt speaker that it amplifies the music with.
So it's got like a microphone, it's listening to the audio and then...
Yeah, so basically,
whatsoever.
there's no pairing, it's completely wireless, it comes with a micro USB cable, but there's no, there's no pairing needed. So you just stick your iPhone in, Android phone in, and it plays.
That's a very interesting approach. So. Yeah, actually, So this is something that I could have, say, at my house, and anyone can use it without having to go through the Bluetooth pairing process.
Right, which is really nice.
As long as they can put their phone inside this dock, it
Right.
will amplify the sound.
Exactly. So I had a case that was kind of a little bit thicker, so I decided to take it off and didn't want it to interfere with the speaker on the phone. So I just, so as long as it fits in, then it can play. So it's really nice. You can tote it with you to, you know, your friend's house for a party. Say they don't have a speaker, and it's something that's really easy to just throw in your bag, take somewhere, and you know, or you're going on a trip and you want to have a little speaker, charge it up. You know, a full charge lasts up to like beyond 5 hours, so like around 6 hours.
And
or
it's
so.
it's nice and small. This thing's not that heavy, and
Yeah,
it,
it's like
it
4
does
ounces.
act like a little dock for your phone. So if you,
Right,
if you were
right,
looking for a
exactly.
way to like watch movies or have display information, this
Exactly.
is not bad. Now, obviously, it will only work when it's right side up, right? Because it needs the speakers need to be down here.
Yeah. So that So you can have it on the side, but I like to have it upright. I think that's the most efficient way to use the.
So
audio.
5 hours of power. I gotta ask about the audio quality, because the reason why we would want to pair, or the reason why we'd want to say hook up a physical cable, is because we don't want interference. And already we know, like for example, if I do this, wait, there, so I can hear. It's basically amplifying the internal interference of the iPhone.
Right.
So you're going to be picking up stuff that you shouldn't pick up, right?
But it's really minimal. I mean, I've used it for many hours. I've been using it every morning for the past couple weeks as I'm getting ready for work, and it's really minimal interference. So, I mean, yeah, if you had it on the side and you just kind of had it like this, you're not going to be getting as, I mean, it doesn't really amplify it as much. So that's, yeah, I mean, so I would just say maybe keep it upright and try that.
I mean, it's a unique feature, so you have to use it properly. I mean, if you know that this thing needs to be able, the mics need to be able to hear the sound coming out of the speakers, that's going to dictate how you use it. But then again, I don't have to pair.
Right, which is nice. So really, wherever you are, if it's charged, you know, and just back here, switch it on, you're ready to go. So
And it charges via USB.
Right, via USB, and yeah, it's really simple.
You have reviewed a lot of speakers for us, a lot of sound devices. How would you rank this against, say, a $30 Bluetooth speaker?
Well, this actually is $30, so, I mean, for what it is, I think it does a nice job. You know, you don't have to worry about pairing it. I would say that it's pretty good quality. I mean, it's not going to get that loud, so if you're okay, I mean, 3 watts, it's not, doesn't have a lot of power. So.
Yeah, you're not expecting massive boombox
Yeah, but
power
it's a mini
here.
boom. I mean, it's like right there in the title. It's the mini boombox.
Right.
It's not going to be this. It's not a ginormous boombox.
Carly, give me your pros and cons. If people were on the fence, what are the things they need to know before they buy the mini boombox?
Okay, yeah, so the pros are, you know, it's really easy. You just charge it up, you let your phone, and it works with any smartphone really that can fit in this little spot here. So it's easy to tote around, it's wireless, no pairing is required, it's simple. So for people that don't want a really, you know, high-tech speaker and just throw their phone in and go, I think that's a nice option. So yeah, I mean, those are my pros. It's pretty easy to use. The cons, I mean, if you have a case on that won't fit in the slot, then okay, take your case off. Maybe some people don't want to have to do that and they want to be able to plug in.
All right, so verdict. If people are looking for a $30 speaker that can hold their phone, that can be used without pairing via Bluetooth, is this a try, a buy, or a don't buy?
I'm going to go ahead and give it a buy.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that sets the precedent. So that's Carly Perkins, her very first live review.
I did a live review with Leo in January.
Oh, well, see, no, that's not fair. You shouldn't tell me that.
This is, you know, this is nothing. Just,
no,
you know,
no, I don't like that. All
a
right.
little review.
The Touch Mini BoomBox speaker is a buy. Thank you, Carly.
Thanks, Padre.
Of course, they're going to find you here. You are, what's your title now? You're like super executive.
Account executive in the sales and continuity department, and then a production assistant on the new screensavers on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
I still say you should have put Mother of Dragons on your card.
Well, that's my other title, yeah, of course.
Carly Perkins. Now, we occasionally get a chance to do what's called a parting shot. Now, a parting shot is when we have a product that doesn't really warrant a full review, but is interesting enough that one of our reviewers actually wanted to take it home and play with it. In this case, we've got the Noon VR headset.
Nice.
We give it to our very own Megan Maroney, and well, this is what she thought.
I am Megan Maroney, and I host Tech News Tonight, i5 for the iPhone, and iOS Today, and I am going to review the Noon VR headset from Nextcore. This is a pair of goggles that turns your iPhone or any phone into a virtual reality headset. Noon is compatible with the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus and Android phones with screens between 4.7 and 5.5 inches. To use the Noon VR, you first download and open the Noon app, then choose a video from your library or from the library posted by other Noon users. Then fit your phone into the device and fasten the strap over the phone. Then fasten the plastic cover onto the goggles. I sound a little bit like those people on the airplanes about fastening your seatbelts. The Noon VR goes around and above your head and attaches with a Velcro strap harness. Once you have it on, you can use the green light to select a video. There's also a focus adjustment on the top. The headset feels surprisingly light. It's only 8 ounces. And the padded face mask is relatively comfortable. Here are the pros. The price at $89, Noon VR is cheaper than headsets like Oculus or Valve or Samsung Gear VR, but it's more expensive than most cardboard devices. The headset is comfortable. It is compatible with Android and iOS. It's only compatible with phones of a certain size, but if yours is bigger, you can still use it without this front piece on. You can watch any video on your phone, and you control with head movements, eye tracking, or finger tap gestures, so it's relatively easy to use. The cons, there's not much content in the app yet, and the content isn't crystal clear. It's a little smudgy, and because of the way the lenses are, you can see any kind of dust. There is a lens cleaner included with the device. There are health risks. The maker of the app warned that some people can experience dizziness, fainting, seizures, or even epileptic attacks due to the flashing lights. They recommend that you not use the device for longer than 20 minutes. My children were, of course, fascinated with it. I let them use it for a little bit, and even right afterwards, they complained that they couldn't really see. The biggest con, as with all virtual reality devices on the market today, you do not look cool wearing them. But despite all that, I would give it a buy. That's the Noon VR headset. Back to you, Padre.
Wow, it's a buy for the Noon VR headset from our very own Megan Maroney. The pros are that it actually works. Again, as she mentioned, the cons are that you do not look cool and may cause seizures or death. But other than that, it's a buy. Of course, you can find Megan Maroney here every weekday at 4 p.m. for Tech News Tonight. It's our evening news show. In fact, it's coming on right after Before You Buy. And you can also find her for i5 for the iPhone and iOS Today with Leo Laporte. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this episode of Before You Buy. I want to thank you so very much for dropping in to check out the latest reviews from the Twit Brickhouse. I want to thank everyone who makes this show possible. Of course, to my reviewers. That includes Miriam Jouar, that includes Megan, that includes our very own Carly, and of course, Leo Laporte. And I also want to thank Leo and Lisa for letting us do Before You Buy. Of course, we can't say goodbye without thanking our producer, Carson Bondi, and our super TD, Brian Burnett, the Cranky Hippo. Brian, could you tell the folks where they can find you on the Twit TV network?
Well, when I'm not being a glorified button pusher back here on the TriCaster, I'm doing a how-to show with you on Thursdays. And what did we do last week?
We did some cooling and some quadcopters. No, octocopters. That's right. Beer quadcopters.
Yes, so definitely check that out on Thursdays at 11. We have a pretty good crash video for our viewers. So,
and burning. There was some burning.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
yeah. Don't forget, we do this show every Friday at around 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, dropping at live.twit.tv. You can watch the pre-show and the post-show and everything in between. And as long as you're watching live, why not jump into our chat room? It's part of the experience of being the Twit Army. That's irc.twit.tv. Go ahead and chat with us, and we'll chat back. Until next time, I'm Father Robert Ballecer, reminding you, you got to watch before you buy. Bye-bye.